There you go, guys. So right on cue, we now have custom screensavers working once again on all of our Amazon devices. And really, guys, just how nice does that look? You got your clock at the back. You can also show you the calendar. Okay, so to get custom screensavers working once again right now in February 2025, head over to your settings. Let's click on that. Let's go over to where it says MiFi TV. Let's click on that. Let's go to developer options, click there, and make sure you've turned on ADB debugging, as we will be making an ADB connection from another device. Let's now press the home key. Now I can now open up Downloader, and we can now make a quick connection to my website, which is just TechDoctorUK.com, or you can always type in the short code 53402. Let's type that in and click on go. Now when you get to my site, head over to the hamburger menu, which is one of the three lines. Let's click on that. You can then click on tutorials, and the latest tutorial in the list will be how we can once again get custom screensavers working on all of our Amazon devices. Let's open that up. Here we are, so Firestick Screensaver Manager. I mean, in this example, I'm using this marine screensaver, which I think looks really nice, but you can of course use any screensaver that you like. Another really good one is the aerial views screensaver. Let's now scroll down. We see the step-by-step instructions. Keep scrolling down. And we'll then have a couple of applications we can then install. So the first one is the Screensaver Manager, which allows us to choose a custom screensaver. Next one is Aerial Views, which is a very popular screensaver. And this one is the new one that I've just discovered recently, which is called Marine. So let's start with the first one. Let's click on that. You then scroll down and you want to click on the green download button. So download it and install that. Let's press back. And then you can of course choose any screensaver that you want. I'm going to go for the marine one. Let's click on that, download and install that. Let's go back. And here is the ADB command if you want to do this process manually, but I'm going to show you a method that doesn't require any typing, and we can once again use custom screensavers on all of our Amazon devices. Once you've installed all that, let's now press the home key. Here is the custom screensaver, and here is the Screensaver Manager. Now you may notice that it doesn't have an icon or proper icon, but that won't stop or break its functionality. Now, when I start the Screensaver Manager, I'm hoping we will see an error. And there we are. And this is basically because Amazon blocked local ADB access. So these applications previously would use local ADB, make a connection, and then give them the correct permissions that they need to then make those changes onto your device. But because Amazon have blocked that, there's no way for us to do that directly on the device. We have to come in from another device to grant these applications the correct permissions that they need. Now, there are two ways of doing that. There's the free method and there's also the paid method, which is using an application called ATV Tools. I think the application is amazing. It just has so many built-in features like the ability to uninstall applications, to give permissions, to record your screen, to take screenshots, to install multiple applications at the same time, to install those split APKs. It just has a ton of features all built in, and one of the key features it has is it allows you to modify permissions of applications you've got installed already on your device. Now the free method is basically just using another application like Remote ADB Shell or ADB Link to issue a command, and that command I have left on my website, which you can then copy and paste and put into any application that you want. But in this demonstration I'm going to pick up my Android phone. Let me do that now, and I'm now going to start ATV Tools, and this application is available both for your Android phones and your iPhones. Let's click on ATV Tools. I'm now going to click on my device, which is at the top, because the application does a scan of all of the devices on your network, and you can then make a connection to them over ADB. Let's click on the top one. Takes a few seconds. I'm now connected. You can just see there, guys, there's so many features: file manager, clear cache, screen record, reboot your device, upload files. It just has a ton of features. But what we're looking for is the ability to modify permissions. So if I click on apps at the bottom, this will now do a scan of all of the applications on my device on my Fire TV Cube. So let's scroll down. And this is, for example, how you can hide applications if you want to, or disable applications if you want to. Now, what we're looking for is the Screensaver Manager. I can even just type in screen at the top. There we are. So second from the bottom. If I now click on those three lines, you can see I have the ability to change permission. So let's click on that now. And that's the key permission we're looking for, the ability to write secure settings. And without me typing in any commands or doing anything funny, literally just one click, enable that toggle, and my application now has the correct permission. And the proof in the pudding, if I now open up the application, you can see it now once again starts without error. So take that, Amazon. I mean, they really did make life so difficult by disabling my applications, by blocking ADB, but using this workaround now, we can once again use some of those applications. And we're now looking at the screensaver manager. So super easy to use. You have the timeout here, and this is basically how long to wait for before your screensaver starts. I'll change that to 1 minute just for a quick test. Timeout is basically when your device goes to sleep. So if you want your device never to go to sleep, you can set that to a very high value, but let's leave that as is. If I go over to the right, and the screensaver I want to set is the Marine Aquarium Pro. So let's press the select button there. You can see that's now selected. I can now click on save, and those values have now been saved onto my device. So in 1 minute now, that Marine screensaver should start automatically. So, and while you guys are waiting for that, if you're interested in more tutorials, more tips and tricks for your Amazon devices, for your Android TVs, I've recently bought the Apple TV 4K as well, because I've just heard so many things about that device. It's a very, very premium device. It's super fast. Very importantly, or more importantly, it has 0 ads on the home screen. It has a super clean layout. Now, the question is, can you actually sideload on there? Which I have actually heard mixed opinions about, because it does seem like under certain conditions, you can actually upload your own IPA files, your Apple application files. And there you go, guys. So right on cue, we now have custom screensavers working once again on all of our Amazon devices. And really, guys, just how nice does that look? You've got your clock at the back. You can also show you the calendar, and you've just got a plethora of fish all just swimming around. I mean, just looking at that is actually very, very relaxing, very calming. So you can have this on all of your devices. Just leave that running in the background. So the next time your screensaver goes to sleep, you can maybe de-stress, decompress, and just take it a bit easy. But that's definitely working fine. Let me now show you how you can customize the screensaver. Let's go back again. Let's now open up the screensaver. Now, a key thing here is if you want to customize the amount of fish that you see, you do have to use some kind of virtual mouse. So let me open that up just so I can show it. So when you open it up, it will actually start the screensaver manually. But if you press the context key, which is the one with the 3 lines, that will then bring up the menu. So in the menu, you can customize the fish, the panning, basically because the screen moves left to right, a wireframe, you can customize the crystal, the bubbles, you can change the background or the background color, and a few other things. So let's get to the top. Let's start with fish. So you can see at the top, I've actually customized mine. So I'm only looking at 15 fish. Now by default, if you're using the standard Firestick remote control, you can't actually click on any of these options here. The only thing you can click on is if you go to the bottom, right to the bottom, you can either click on all none, which means you got 0 fish, so a blank fish tank. You can click on all sum, which just gives you 30 random fish, or all lots, which again just gives you another set of 30 fish. So if you're happy with that, then you can press back on the remote, go back to the fish tank, click on that, and you can see, guys, we now have 30 fishes in our fish tank. So very busy, very congested, but if you like it like that, then away you go. You don't have to mess about with anything else. Now, if you are somebody that wants to customize the fish, maybe you only want to see 3 clownfish, maybe 3 loaches, maybe some tiger lilies or something else. How do you do that? Well, if I press the context key again, let's then go back to fish. If I scroll to the bottom, and this time let me click on all none, which basically means I'm having a blank tank. Let's say, for example, I want to have some blue damsels. How do I do that? Well, unfortunately, you can't do it with the standard remote control, but using a virtual mouse, you can actually change these options. And would you believe it, guys, even ATV Tools gives you a virtual built-in mouse that you can use on your Amazon Fire TV devices. I believe it only works with Fire OS 7 and 8, which is fine for me as I'm running Fire OS 7. Let's now open up the application again. Okay, I'm still connected, so I can now click on the remote icon on the bottom right. I can now see a virtual D-pad, which is fine. But there on the bottom left, you can see a mouse icon. So if I click on that now, and if I now move my mouse, there you have it, guys. I now have a fully working virtual mouse I can use on this application. So I can now, for example, scroll down. Let's say, for example, I want to have 2 blue damsels. Or can I just click next to it? Does that work? Yes, it is. So now I have 2 of those fishes. Let's do a bit more. Okay, so you click, that's 5 of those. Let's go down. Let's also get the regal tangs. Let's click about here. It's a bit frustrating. It does actually go back to the top, but you can see it does actually make the change. So the 3 of those. So we got 8 fishes in total. Let's do last set. And maybe if I just scroll down a bit more, let's get some of these 3 stripes. So let's get a few of those. So we now have 11 different fishes. That's fine. I can now press back on the remote. Let's also look at panning. Let's click on that. Here, for example, you can adjust how fast the panning is. So you might want it really slow or really fast. So I think speed 5 is okay. Let's go back. Let's go to the crystal. Here, for example, you can set digital clock, analog clock, and calendar. Let's leave it as digital. And then how quickly it changes from calendar back to the clock. 10 seconds is fine. You can also modify the color there. Let's go back. Then you got bubbles. And you can actually enable sound as well. So if you want to have sound, if you want that kind of aquarium sound, you can enable that, but I want to turn mine off. And the last one we have here is the background. So you can actually customize these colors. So it goes from a lighter color to a darker color every 15 seconds. So I'm going to leave mine as default. I think I've already customized mine before. And that's pretty much it, guys. So now if I go back to the fish tank, we're looking at 11 fishes. So let's click on that. And there we have it, guys. So 11 fishes slowly panning around. We've got the calendar there. We can see the time after 10 seconds. We've got the bubbles there. And we can see the color cycling there in the background. So works absolutely fine. And just a really nice looking screensaver. So, and just before you go, guys, let me also just mention that if you are looking for a great offer on a superb VPN, an exclusive offer just for my followers, where you can now get total protection for all of your devices, unlimited devices, doesn't matter how many Firesticks, Android TVs, phones, tablets, computers, all of your devices can be covered for your entire house with just a single IP Vanish account. You can then change your IP address, you can access geo-locked content using ultra-fast VPN servers, and to get all of that for just over $2 a month, I definitely think this special offer is worthwhile checking out. Using my link does help support the channel, so many thanks for doing that. Do have a look in the video description and pinned comment if you want to take up this special offer. Really appreciate your support. Do like and share this video, and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.